everyone's night tonight. Hope you are all doing well. Of course, the usual. Metal is with me. Since my mouse doesn't want to work, maniacal. There's the word that I was trying to say. The maniacal metal is with me.
I have been on occasion referred to as a megalomaniacal maniac.
Do you like being referred to like that?
It inflates my ego.
Oh, yeah. I guess that's
as if
good.
That needs any in the first place, you know. And so, Rick, I'm disappointed in this game in one very, very specific way.
Yeah?
And there's no random encounters.
Oh, you're playing a new game already?
Yeah, it's on my Switch, so I have it in front of me while we're talking.
Okay. Well, that's no problem. Okay.
Yeah. But there's no random encounters. The monsters are just kind of like walking around.
So you can choose to encounter them or not.
Yeah, and sometimes they'll run after you, or if you're over leveled like I am right now, they're running from me, and I'm just like, get back here, I want to kill you.
Hello. Don't you hate it when monsters run from you?
Oh, yeah, because I want to kill them all. Every last one of them. Especially these big, ugly pig guys.
And my mom's watching it. Before I could even put anything in the chat for the or in Discord, the link, which ends up appearing in the chat, of course. She said, "Good evening, everyone." Okay, she probably wouldn't be saying it like that.
I don't know, she is your mom.
Yeah, she's not as wacky as me. Not even close.
Oh, do you get that from the other side?
No!
Oh, it just came out of nowhere. Are you a mutant?
Yeah. I got it from a couple friends. Although it was a little wacky and strange for them, but... Or did I get it from my cartoon shows or whatever?
Who knows?
Or at least I wouldn't consider my dad wacky in any way, shape, or form.
Well, I mean, if you are the bar for comparison, it's pretty high.
I will take that as a compliment.
You can take it however you want to take it.
Marsupial says first non-piper. You would be incorrect on that, Marsupial. The first non-piper here would have been my mom because she's McTavish. She does not go by my dad's last name anymore. Hasn't for over 30 years. Probably over 40 years.
Oh, I thought she went by Kid.
Well, in that case, I go by comics, I guess, then, eh? Not Piper?
Now Marsupial goes by Gamer.
Yeah. I thought she went by Linda. Well, that too. Marsupial.
He only goes by Gamer so he can get away with saying those gamer words. You know the kind.
Well, I know what animal that he's going to want to tame in Ark. And although this isn't the correct name for it in Ark, he's going to want to tame a kangaroo.
Ah, see, I was going to say beaver. Because who doesn't want to tame the beaver?
A lot of girls.
Well, you know, they learn around, like, 12 that there's no taming that thing. Once a month it just kind of does what it wants to do.
Joshua says first cool kid. And Marsupial said he does that all the time in real life.
I don't know, man. When's the last time he even left his room?
When he went to get something to eat. You know, supper. Well, unless his mom, of course, brung it to him.
She does it a lot. At least while we're on stream, anyway.
I'd say not that I'm one to talk, but my mom doesn't do it a lot even when I'm on stream. So.
Oh no, Rick. I was attacked by a tree!
You were attacked by a tree?
Yeah.
Did it make you leave? Or did you make it leave?
Oh, I'm gonna make it split.
Marsupial says every time he goes smokes, he leaves his room.
Oh, I don't have to worry. The guest member of my party just killed the tree in one shot.
Was it a banana tree?
I was a little worried because it seemed to be like a rare monster. I didn't even realize it was a monster until the tree just like lifted itself out of the ground and was like a walking like stump thing.
You must have been playing that game a lot today. If you've gotten that far, that now that I think about it, that stuff is running from you.
I only started playing this game around 7 o'clock when it got here.
Yeah, so
I just progress really fast because I've played a lot of RPGs and I know what to do.
So that's 8. So about 2 hours you've been playing it.
Yeah, more or less.
Marsupial says, I have to move to Texas now. No more masks.
Yes and no. no more mandated masks. Plenty of places are still going to make you wear them. It's up to the business.
Yeah, but if it's not mandated or law, can they actually make you?
Yeah, because they can call the cops and say you're trespassing otherwise.
That's just wrong.
Well, it's the business's prerogative. Now I know a lot that won't. I'm pretty sure most of the mom and pop stuff here probably won't. The big business stores though, like Walmart and Target and things that will have like some type of regulatory stance across the nation, will probably still make us wear them.
Yeah, because that's weird. Although a lot of businesses are using that whole trespassing thing as a way around it, but technically here, although it's mandated, and if you have quote unquote an exemption, they can't refuse you service. Although a lot are trying to use that trespassing thing to do that. And if you're actually doing business there, technically you're not trespassing, from what I get. Or if you're trying to do business.
I don't know. Some court would have to hold it up. None has yet.
Yeah. So I don't know how that would work there with the law. Like I said, at the moment it's still mandated here too.
But in general, Texas is a pretty libertarian state. But because of that, their trespassing laws are one of the few things that they're actually hard up about. Private property and stuff like that. Might be why trespassing is my favorite thing to do. I kind of don't like being told what I can't do, Rick.
Yeah, but usually.
In fact, last time me and my brother went hiking in the woods, we went trespassing. We saw somebody's private property, where like the fence cut off the rest of the woods, and you're like, "Hey, let's go in." And then we saw like the people's van pull up, like on the road on the other side of the trees, and we like turned around and made a break for it.
Yeah, so you're like you'll do it until there's a chance of getting caught, right?
I'll do it until there's a chance of getting shot, Rick. I live in Texas.
Okay. Yeah,
and you trespass on somebody's property.
Yeah, well, here it'd be more caught than shot. But yeah, caught, shot, what's the difference? A whole lot of pain.
Possibly being alive later is the biggest difference.
They should shoot to injure or maim, not to kill.
No, you're taught not to shoot to injure. Because the justice system does not favor people who injure people. You shoot to kill.
That's just ridiculous. It should be favoring the people that don't kill.
No, because if you shoot to kill, then they can't prove that they didn't have, like, malicious intent being on your property.
Yeah, but how are you supposed to know? You can't read their mind.
No, but that's why there's a court case afterwards. If they're dead, though, it just goes in your favor because they were people who were walking in their property. You can't know that they didn't have malicious intent at that point.
Yeah. Let's see. Marsupial Gamer says, "Are you playing Bravely Default 2 in full 1080p, 1080 HP, hot pink?" No, I'm not.
I think HP. I think it just means 1080p because it's a definition.
Yeah, he did say HP.
And he's asking me.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
figured he was asking.
Oh, HP is for hot pink. No, I'm not playing on that wall. I'm playing it on the Switch. Maybe after I'm done with the first chapter, I'll replay it on stream because it doesn't look like the words are too tiny for me to make out on the screen like with Octopath. And aside from the in-party chat and the what's it called? The in-party chat or the normal NPCs, everything else is spoken, so I don't even have to read the important dialogue. The game would do it for me.
Well,
So I'm considering it.
we have it. My mom says we have a news agency fights your funds for it. Well, they don't exactly fight it. They hire a lawyer and pay for it through crowdfunding. But
Also, Marsupial's right. Always shoot center mass. Period. Now, you can shoot high or low center mass, whether you're aiming for like the top of the chest or in the gut. That really depends whether you're trying to kill the person or not. Because you can survive a gut shot pretty well.
yeah, well, that's what I mean. As long as don't
But
aim
center
for
mass, man.
Don't
But
aim for
I wouldn't ever aim for the gut. I'm always aiming for the heart or lungs if I'm shooting somebody. You shouldn't shoot somebody if you don't intend on killing them.
Well, I think police officers should be, go for like hands or legs or whatever. You don't
No,
want
that's
them,
stupid.
because I don't think.
First off, Rick, that's stupid for two reasons. I'm going to tell you why. One, it's stupidly hard to hit somebody's limbs compared to center mass, especially with them moving around. Right?
No.
And if you fire at all, you risk the chance of being fired back on. You don't know if a criminal has a gun. Second reason, if you do happen to hit them in one of their limbs, you actually have major arteries going through there, and you have a bit higher chance of killing somebody from piercing a major artery by shooting them through a limb than you do of killing them from a gut wound.
Well, maybe a gut, but I just mean, a lot of these officers are taught, go for the head or go for the heart. I mean, I can't say non-fatal because, well, it gets non-fatal in the fact of, not killing them.
A gun is a lethal weapon.
Yeah.
If you do not intend on killing your target, you should not fire a gun at all.
Yeah, well, there's reasons.
And if you're in a circumstance where you need to fire a gun, then it's because the target should need to die.
I disagree. Somebody doesn't always need to die when the, a criminal doesn't need to die. Over.
Well, that's why you're supposed to announce and alert yourself first. You hold the gun out and be like, "Hey, freeze."
Yeah, well,
You
still.
give them commands.
Yeah. Well, you can still do that. It doesn't mean they need to die.
Well, if they don't resist.
Yeah, if they don't resist, they won't die. But still,
Yeah.
even if they resist, they don't necessarily need to die. And, that's my ever so humble opinion.
Well, this is probably why if you were in that circumstance, you'd end up being the one dead.
And the thing is, cops go through lots and lots of training too. So
No, they don't. That's the problem. They need to go through more training. We pump them out now. That's why there's so many just like bad. Well, I wouldn't say bad, but there's so many. Unskilled cops.
Well,
maybe if they're the training's better, but not here.
Well, I'm presuming that they go through a lot of gun training, how aim, how to hit their target. You see them always having to go get recertified or whatever on TV or whatever. On their hitting stuff. It's simple. Rick, don't attack a cop. Of course, I wouldn't attack a cop, but
No, see, I'm very realistic when it comes to cops because I have friends who are cops, right? Which means I don't actually have a very good opinion of cops either. I have a good opinion of those people, but not of cops.
No. Trusty sidekicks here and said, "Trust Thanos. Aim for the head." No, they don't got covert jails. Not like here. They're not crazy yet. That's crazy, anyways.
No, we don't lock people in hotel rooms and don't let them leave.
Although technically, most of them can just walk out. They just don't realize it.
Well, most of them, yes. Some of them actually do have like people stationed in the halls.
Yeah. Well, there's not a lot of them because last time I knew there's only so many, cities that were letting people in through. So,
I didn't say I don't like cops, I just don't have a very high opinion of them. Cops, like anybody else, are, for the most part, the vast majority of them just try to do their job.
yeah. There's corrupt ones in there, yeah. There's extremely good ones, but like you said, most of them are just trying to do the job.
I mean, there's some specific cops in my area that I'm rather fond of. Typically, I also prefer, it depends on the situation, right? Like, I have very low opinion of most inner-city cops because most inner-city cops have very poor training, and they're rushed on the force, and they're being rotated around, they don't get to know the area they're in, and there's just all kinds of problems with just how policing is handled in the city. But when you go out to like more local areas where you have like an elected or appointed sheriff or anything, people tend to be better in general. Like, in looking at the word cops, it's like this is a large spectrum of different positions and occupations across the nation and even across the world because cops vary from place to place.
Yeah. In Canada and the States, I'd say most of them are corrupt. There's other places that most of them are corrupt. Although nowadays, seeming like more, at least Canada, Canada, the States, more of them seem to be a little bit corrupt, bowing to peer pressure, for lack of a better way of saying it. Bending the knee. I'm not sure if the various things, not going by the real rule of law.
Yeah. But also being somebody who comes from a very criminal family, at no point was I ever raised to blame cops. It's kind of like that old mob mentality of shouldn't have gotten caught. It's not the cops' fault you got caught, it's your fault.
Yep. They're just doing their job. Timothy says, I don't understand people who just out hate cops. A lot of times it's, unfortunately, criminals, or ex-criminals, or whatever,
See, I don't even necessarily think that's the case, even though there are a lot of criminals who do. But there's a lot of criminals who don't either. It's a cultural thing.
Then there's a lot of people.
It's very much a cultural thing.
Then there's a lot of people that don't trust cops, depending where they have come from, because cops are corrupt, wherever they came from. You hear that a lot about in various places in Europe. A lot of cops are corrupt or
Well,
down
here's
south.
another problem too, right? When you look at the statistics and demographics, I don't think cops inherently are corrupt. I think areas have a corruption problem because the police tend to reflect about the amount of corruption that's also in that area.
Yeah.
And police are people. There's probably, you could probably find a good handful of good people in any area, but typically where you see bad police, you also see a lot of bad people. A lot of it is usually just a cultural thing, and a lot of it has to do with big cities. Because big cities lose cultural value because there's just too many people in there. You can't even get to properly know anybody except for, like, a handful of people.
Yeah. True.
Like, you know what's considered one of the most corrupt places on the U.S.?
Detroit.
Buffalo. Well, Detroit's one of them too, yeah, but Buffalo, right? But if you go to Buffalo, you realize it's not just the politicians or the cops. You kind of just don't like the people there either. They tend to be like full of themselves or rude, and you're like, oh well, they deserve the police they have.
Okay. Well, not that I've ever been in Buffalo,
Yeah.
or I've been in Buffalo, but not for any extended period of time. Like when I went to LA via bus, I was in the bus terminal there for a little bit, and I did a little bit of I went outside for something or other. I think to try and find something close by to eat, but there wasn't. So, but since I didn't know the city, I didn't want to venture far.
SJW Joshua, if you imply police officers have souls, I will personally cry. I haven't seen that one in a while. I love the little alts.
Tim, he was here the other day, but I think it was a high noon. Shelton says flit. I think that's supposed to be an emoji. Oh, cat in a box.
Yeah.
Timothy says, is it me or is it just college kids that are left-leaning that really hate cops?
Well, it is a political stance of the further left sides of the spectrum right now to hate police officers. No, actually, I think at this point, most people are learning to hate cops, especially the ones that are enforcing like mask mandates and stuff. It's like the one thing most people can agree on.
Yeah. Especially here in
It
Canada.
took a little while for the right-wing people to get on that, though.
Although, here, unfortunately the cops are only enforcing one side of it. They're not enforcing the exemption rules, that there are. And, the anti-protest stuff, too, that's coming down for, on the right side, basically making it so, the right can't protest. Well, that just seems effed up. I mean, like you said, they're just doing their jobs.
Yeah, but there's also an extent to just doing your job. I mean,
are you doing your job?
Weimar were doing their job.
And the question is, are they doing their job well?
Yeah. Well, because their job is also to uphold the Constitution. Most police officers have to take some type of oath. It's not actually required. That's just something that like states and counties do. But most of them take some type of oath to uphold the Constitution, and most of these mandates are actually unconstitutional.
Flit says, I never met a cop who wasn't a power-tripping jerk. I have.
I have two. Most of them, like the ones I'm actually friends with, though, are all power-tripping jerks. Probably doesn't help my opinion of cops.
Uh,
Like one of them, he's a family friend that I've even done jobs and stuff for in the past. And he's the older brother of somebody I went to high school with, and I used to spend like every weekend over at their house. And he even outright tells you that the reason he became a cop was because he liked the power. It's like good pay, and I get to push people around. Of course, I'm going to take this job. He used to have a really nice house too. He would kind of like pay me to like house and pet sit when he went on like Carnival cruises and stuff, and give me like $400 at a time. I'm like, okay, that's not a lot, but I can work on other stuff, and it's basically a vacation away from other people, so I don't care.
yeah, it was $400 for what, for 2 weeks? Although, yeah, like you said, it's not a lot.
No, usually 1 week.
Still, that's not bad for a week, especially I think
For a week.
Down in some states, anyways, depending on what your minimum wage was at the time, you know.
It was also fully stocked fridge.
Yeah.
Access to a pool and a hot tub. I get to use the master bedroom. Get to use the internet and stuff. Huge TV in the theater room. Basically, it's just a vacation house. So getting paid to be on vacation for a week?
Yeah. Hey, you could do your job well there, too. Especially you with drawing and all that.
Yeah. And all I have to do is make sure that I pay the pets enough attention and feed them regularly.
Flit says he's had a lot of experience with cops while doing nothing wrong.
I've been held up at gunpoint by cops. To be fair, I probably had it coming. In fact, I think at the time I was trespassing. Though, not intentionally. It's like one of the few times I didn't realize I was trespassing. Me and my friends, we were gonna... actually, Travis was with me, too. We were gonna take a shortcut through the woods to Walmart.
Yeah.
And we didn't realize that this portion of the woods had already been, like, bought and sectioned off. They were going to build something there later on. And we went in there, and the cops followed us and held us up at gunpoint because not even so much that we were trespassing, but that was their reason for following us. They thought we were walking into the woods to, like, do drugs. They even, like, checked our pockets and everything, and the situation was diffused. Especially, I think, like, the humor of the situation was, too, that the cops didn't understand how to handle it. They asked me, like, do you have anything dangerous in your pockets? And I was like, to be honest, I don't know. I would just be careful reaching in there. And when he checked Travis's pocket, he had a cookie in there that had been there for, like, a month. And immediately he handed it to me, and I ate it, and the cops were, like, so confused, and they just let us go. And like, okay, just don't take any shortcuts in the future.
Yeah. Like, that's never gonna happen.
Oh, yeah. Well, so, I think another thing that diffused it, too, was after the cops recognized me, because everybody in town knows who I am. And they probably knew, too, that wasn't going to happen.
It's like lots of people take shortcuts like that. You know, it's like, get real. That is what the world is now. Always nowadays, BS. I was woken out of sleep by a cop twice, says Timothy. Once I was sleeping in a post office during the winter, and the other time it was again during the winter. I slept in the entrance way of a bank. Yeah, unfortunately. That's because the post offices or banks don't want people trespassing. You know, they don't care about people being warm. And unfortunately, the cop has to enforce the law at that point. You know what I did? Exactly what I was told, says Timothy. Yeah.
I don't know, man. I don't like your attitude. I think we're gonna have to take you in for questioning. Yeah. My friend who became a cop for the Power 2, his father was also a cop, so he was being told, like, stories about it his entire life, and he started building up, like, this, idea of what being a police officer would be like.
Timothy was mostly like, let me see your ID.
I
Then
think
move
he's a
up.
sergeant now.
So you probably don't like Tom Selleck's recent series. Whatever. Rookie, no, not Rookie Blue. The one where he's, like the commissioner of New York City cop.
Blue Bloods?
Yeah, Blue Bloods.
No, I like that series. Rick,
Yeah,
I just said I don't dislike cops. I just don't have a very high opinion of them. There's a big difference there.
true.
I also don't have a very high opinion of school teachers, but I have a lot of friends who are school teachers. And a lot of teachers that I liked from back when I was in school. That doesn't stop me from having a low opinion on school teachers in general.
Yeah. Understand, I do. I think. No.
First part of it also, I don't have a very high opinion on school in general. Like any form of it.
Well, that'd be me too. That would be mainly because I was teased and all that through school. And don't end up liking it because of it. Oh wait, Fearmaster is a woman. Wouldn't her name be Fear Mistress? It probably could be either. Is Fearmaster Scarecrow? Yes and no. Eagle.
Well, see, no,
Probably.
you can't. You can't name her Fear Mistress because then people are going to expect you to draw her like a dominatrix.
No, I'm not saying anything, says Timothy. Fear Master a woman. Are you saying a woman can't be masters, Joshua? Shameful. She already looks like. Oh, damn it.
Well, at least right now she doesn't look like a dominatrix.
Metal, when are you going to start helping Rick again?
Oh, I don't know, man.
The question is, what do you mean by helping, too? Really, just give her a whip. No, I'm not giving
Oh.
her a whip.
I don't think she's showing enough like cleavage or skin. Like a lot of it's usually covered up, but you know, like vinyl leather, you got to be showing a little of something.
Yeah, and, you know, all of it technically. There's no.
Maybe have a choker.
The only thing that's being shown for skin would be her face, neck and face on her.
Oh, and she would need like really high stilettos so she could drive it into somebody's crotch. Rick, these enemies are starting to tick me off. They just keep running.
What do you mean they keep running?
Like, I told you, there's no random encounters in this game, right? So all the enemies are wandering around the overworld. And I'm higher level than them, so they just, like, sweat. Anime-style sweat is just coming off of them as they run in the opposite direction when I approach them and I have to chase them down. Like, come back! I want your experience and money!
Let's see. Eagle says, if Fearmaster isn't a woman, then is the discovery that she's not a woman the fear comes from? I have no idea what you mean. Eagle and Timothy says, Canadian Shield after dark. Joshua put some sort of face in the chat. Just eyes on a face. No mouth, no nose.
Yeah, I think that's usually the face you put where, like, you're just stunned and you don't know what to say.
Ego repeats Joshua's sentiment. A Canadian citizen, CS. What are those marks on your back, Canadian? Shield replies, oh, nothing. Don't you judge me. Canadian Shield runs away.
Well, you know, according to Rick, there's no way he'd have marks on his back because of his suit.
Well, the suit could be technically off when somebody sees that, but some sort of...
Are you saying that the Canadian Shield's the type of guy who would take his suit off for a dominatrix?
No, but, you know...
That's what it sounds like you're implying, Rick.
Hey, I'm just saying he could get marks on his back if the suit was off.
I thought this was a Christian channel, Rick.
I'm just not sure whether Timothy's implying his costume is on or off. No, I don't know why Timothy would have his costume off. Have him have his costume off. Cape, they should come back in style or remain a relic of the cape.
I like capes.
Yes, unlike what's her name from
Edna Mo. No, for a hero, a cape is actually a really bad design. There's actually no argument there. From a fashion choice, though, like cloaks and capes are really stylish. Very regal, you know?
Yeah.
Plus, cloaks are superior to capes anyway, right? Why do you want something that's just draping behind you, all Roman style, when you could have like a proper cloak that could keep you safe from the elements? And a hooded cloak is even better.
Flip says, yeah, I mean in real life capes. Timothy, put your caution back on the ladies present. Now, we've missed you the last couple nights here. Well, because it was just last night. Not so much a couple nights.
See, the problem with Superman is that his cape has become so much a part of his look that he looks even dumber without it.
I wouldn't say he looks dumber, but you certainly think there's something missing.
Yeah, I would say that looks dumb. I mean, look at it, right? Like, almost every member in the Fellowship from Lord of the Rings had a cloak on. And all of them were fine. Why wouldn't you want a cloak as well? I say we all bring cloaks into fashion.
A cloak's just a hoodie with a cape, right?
Oh, well, you could have a hooded or unhooded cloak, but yeah, you know, instead of having a jacket, you just have this nice, big, warm cloak that stretches out. It's almost like having an overcoat, right? Like a trench coat.
Yeah.
But instead of actually wearing it tight to your body, you wear it draped over your shoulders. Protects you from the elements.
I do have a few characters with cloaks. Usually they're bad guys, though.
I don't even flinch just that the long coat is the modern day cape. Change my mind. Yeah, I mean, the overcoat is pretty much just a cloak. I mean, they serve the exact same purpose. The difference is with a cloak, you could actually brush it over your shoulders like a cape when you wanted it out of your way, while a coat you actually have to take off. But a cloak isn't as effective as a coat because you can wear a coat tight to your body. So there's a level of trade-off with both of them.
Yeah. Rick, does Fearmaster spit acid? No. Definitely not. Although she does have probably some psychotropic things that will make people go into a delusional state. So, like,
that type of acid. I thought he was talking about like chemical acid. No, you should totally ever spit like LSD at somebody.
Yeah, well, I wasn't saying LSD. Well, I didn't mean LSD necessarily.
Yo, dusters are great. I have a duster, but it doesn't fit me. It's from my dad, and my dad's bigger than me. I need one that's actually fitted for me. Or I had one. I think I actually just left it. After I moved from the last place, it's like, this doesn't fit me anyway. I think I just left it there. I'd have to check. I might have it. Plus, if you have a cowboy hat, you can totally pull off the whole duster and cowboy hat look here in Texas. Of course, I can't think about that without thinking about Irvine from Final Fantasy VIII. He was a sniper with a cowboy hat and a duster.
Although I do have a cowboy hat. Or I think I do. I used to, anyways.
This game is constantly switching between day and night. And I think the world is supposed to be more dangerous at night, but I just keep killing everything anyway. So I really can't tell the difference.
Well, that's not good. Or good? I'm not sure. Rick, is there fantasy in your comics? What do you mean by fantasy? Fearmaster, have you ever tried DMT? What do you think about Henry Cavill playing Captain Britain?
Well, he's British as far as I know, so I'm sure he can pull it off. He's got the body type. I honestly didn't think about it at all until just now. I didn't know he was going to be doing that.
DC's going to let him do that with him playing Superman? Or is he still playing Superman?
I thought they were going to offer to let him, or he wanted to come back, like they finally met his offer, but I don't know. I'm not really keeping up with any of this stuff.
Yeah.
I've kind of just become disassociative from all things Marvel and DC going forward.
See, at least Marvel was able to keep the same actors, except for like 2 characters. But then again, they just kept switching them. I'm not sure whether it's the actor's fault or Marvel's fault for, most of their movies. Didn't you hear, Rick?
If you're talking about War Machine or / Rhodey, that was the actor's fault.
Yeah.
He was demanding more money than the lead actor for the movie.
Yeah. Yeah, I heard about them possibly switching to Black Superman again. That's stupid. How is it going to fit in with what they've already established? Unless, they're completely...
They don't care.
That I believe.
Clearly they don't care about making a good movie, because their standards have been abysmal up to this point. They accidentally make good movies when it happens. It's not that they have any, metric to measure it by.
Yeah, I think the best one... Well, I know a lot of people don't think Aquaman was that good, but I thought Aquaman was that good. Suicide Squad was I think they focused too much on Harley Quinn for it.
I think I'd only like the first Wonder Woman. Everything that happened after Man of Steel, it's the first Wonder Woman's the only thing I liked. No, I did like Shazam. I have to take that back. I almost forgot that Shazam was a thing.
Yeah. They need to do a white Black Panther, says Marsupial. Reasons why I don't care about Marvel and DC anymore, says Timothy. Is Fearmaster a cannibal? No. Wonder Woman was overrated too.
Well, yeah, it was overrated. I think I gave it like a solid 7 out of 10. Which, I mean, from my standards, that's like an above average movie, but it wasn't like something spectacular. Like, 7 is good. That's like a 70, with a 50 being the medium.
How many shrunken heads does Fearmaster own as sequel? None.
Why not?
Just not her thing.
I mean, she's a bad guy, right?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't she own shrunken heads?
That head seems small.
No, the shoulders just seem wide.
And her chest is a bit down too.
Yeah, you kind of always give your women like really big torsos. But actually, you know what? The head could be small. I think I'm still looking at this at a slight angle. Level it out. You're probably looking at it more dead on than I am.
Trying to.
Yeah, because I'm looking at it compared to the rest of the body, but then I'm like, well, the legs seem kind of short, but they always do because it's at a slight angle.
Yeah, those legs are really long.
Yeah.
To me, they look almost too long. So it says, bad guy. I believe the less offensive term is antagonist.
Yeah, but she's a bad guy, so I don't really care about being offensive or not to her.
This drawing is not as good as your Secret Warriors. Yeah, it's not bad, but you're right, it's not as good. But I think that somehow I took more time on those. I don't know why. And the other thing is, maybe I should have just went off just did something out of my head. For the Secret Warriors, that was all out of my head. This, I have a reference piece. Maybe that's my problem. I'm using reference pieces now, and they're all... Well, they're not crappy necessarily, but...
No, I don't know. I've seen a few of them. You do tend to have bad taste in reference pictures.
Well, I like the stance or whatever usually that they have, so I think they fit my character or whatever. Why do they secretly worry all the time? They don't. How dare, Flit says.
Yeah, I keep telling you, Rick, if you want to find poses, go find poses of, like, actual human bodies to reference.
But usually they're not in a stance that I would want for my character.
Sure they are. There's these things called cosplayers where they do poses and stuff like that for their pictures. They even take dynamic angles.
Yeah, well, I've not seen many. Or any. I do not always use the same stance, Joshua.
You do reuse a lot of very, very similar ones.
Yeah, that maybe, but not. They're not exactly the same. Then again, sometimes it's not so much the stances that I'm getting. It's me putting it in the character in that stance that I've gotten. Usually, somehow I mess it up a lot.
Yeah, they take pictures and dynamic angles. They'll have like a photographer and be like, hey, The real magic comes from the photographer because most of them have like professionals and they'll set up like the rigs and be like, take this pose, I'll go get the angle from it and stuff like that.
Now I know this one. I'm using an Emma Frost picture. Actually, I should have used how they did her cape in this too. I should have used that. Rick, you
that sounds like a horrible idea.
Creating a social media account for all my characters? Yeah.
Well, yeah, because you'd have to be the person that maintains them. That sounds awful.
Yeah, that's the awful part about it at the moment. Maybe when I'm like DC Marvel size, paying somebody to do that. Let's see what it's.
No, there's a thing you could do though in Discord. Somebody shared it in Matt Reese's server. There's a guy who's making it. Let me see what the name is. I have the thing bookmarked. Where is it? Yeah, it's a Discord bot called In Character, and it basically allows you to make characters without having to have different accounts. Like a single account can just run it and have characters like say and do things. It even has like some RPG commands, like for a tabletop with dice rolls and stuff. But you can ignore that. You can just have characters do things. And it's a bot that controls all that stuff. You give it commands. And then everybody else in the Discord can make their own characters too and interact.
Cool. Let's see. This does not want to show off the pose of a
Does anyone actually follow the Batman and other superhero accounts? Anyway? Like, real people? I don't know. I don't.
I don't either.
I don't know why anybody would want to. They're really boring. And they don't actually act like the characters. They act like the characters do now, but none of the characters act like they should. Like, why would I want to follow that?
But yeah, there's the Emma Frost pose that I grabbed, and yeah, I know this looks nothing like that. Making accounts for your OC is the saddest thing you can do. Rick, I need to weld a 3x2 angle steel in high wind. What type of welder do I buy? I would have no clue. Seeing as how I know very little about something like that. My dad, on the other hand, probably would. Rick is a supertainer person.
Yeah, I actually have a buddy who is an expert in welding. Like, he went to school for that, and he's like a consultant at a store. But he also lives out in the middle of nowhere, so if I were to send him that question, he probably wouldn't get back to me for 2 weeks.
Give me a Rick.
Really funny guy. His name is Kyle. Met him when I was in college.
Well, John, I don't know why you would even think I would come close to knowing the answer to that question, so... Your future wife, Eagle. Mad, I tell you. Diller, don't try to ponder the meaning of Rick. Some have gone mad. Mad, I tell you. Might welder would work with shielded wire, says Mallet. Oh, well, Mallet actually knows.
You would hope Mallet would know. He's a craftsman.
MIG
It
welders.
is a MIG welder. Oh, the might was probably like an autocorrect. I was gonna say that was confusing. I know what a MIG welder is. Like, what's a might welder?
Yeah, I've heard of a MIG welder too.
I just figured there was something I didn't know. Like, is there such thing as a might welder? Is it mighty? Would it be cool?
It's for welding mics, it says Timothy.
Yeah, welding is actually something I don't know a lot about.
I'll probably pick one up for 300. It says mallet. Or come borrow mine. The goddess of chaos. Parasite.
That's a long drive to borrow that.
The question is, would it be cheaper than the $300 to buy it? Especially having to return it too.
No, I mean, it would probably cost more in gas to go there, back again.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. I can't pick it up today, but can you leave it at my? But you can leave it at my door overnight. I won't answer. Hey, Pope
Plus, it
Raven.
probably costs more than the whole welder anyway when California tries to toll Dillard for leaving the state even temporarily. I don't even know if that's a thing they do, but it sounds like something California would do at this point. So when does this character show up?
She first shows up in Snowdrift. Which issue? She makes appearance in a bunch of them, but I know it's first Snowdrift. Snowdrift number 6, I think that's out there. Yeah.
Ooh, what if he buys an electric car? My worry is there enough fuel up stations? How far can an electric car go? Like 300 miles without having to fuel back up? And you have to cross a desert.
Can I charge you my car for free at the mall? Rick is favorite master Nazi. No. Definitely not.
Why not?
I know she's a villain, but, just definitely not. John, please draw this character from Rick as John. Or Mallet, I should say.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering too. Like, what are you actually welding this to?
Electric cars also come with a plug so you can charge them at home, says Marsupial.
What happened to Diller's wrench? Oh, he probably did something to deserve losing it.
Yeah, something the other day, I forget what. Maybe I should give it back to him. Hey, Rebellious, how are you?
Dillard was timing out and banning all minorities. What?
Okay, there's John's wrench back. Nope, you timed up Mrs. Dillard when I said specifically not to. Mallet. I timed out Eagle for spamming the chat. And I said anybody who did wasn't going to get their wrench back. And Mark took offense. No, Marsupial, oh no, Eagle was talking one word at a time. Not exactly what I would call.
That's pretty rude.
And he got the idea from Mallet, so.
Why would you let him get away with such rudeness?
I was just doing it to troll me like everybody else, almost everybody else here likes to do, troll me. So.
Oh, that's a big tree.
I
don't know what that is, but it'll probably kill me.
Yeah, but I'm the only fully functional member of this society in your chat. Are you insulting the chat by saying they're not fully functioning? You know, that could get you timed out by somebody, not me. And I'm not saying for anybody to do that. No, I don't hate veterans.
And former elected officials. What were you elected to? I'm not aware of this.
Class president.
No, I'm genuinely curious. I'm not trying to undermine him.
You know, you know everyone else here is a lunatic.
You know, I will not deny being crazy.
Neither will I. I'm just not certified.
City council. Well, that's respectable.
I'm just not certifiably crazy. Cool? I have met many blue check marks. Mallet's from the government, and he's here to help. Haven't we heard that one before? Do we believe it anymore? That the government is here to help?
Oh, the only government official I like is what's his name? Nick Offerman's character in Parks and Recs. Was it Ron Swanson? Or he works for the government just to slow it down because he hates the government.
Yes, I am, Pope Raver. And I will be practicing drawing all my life because I will probably never become an expert.
So you were basically nice. That's the best way to do things.
Heard it?
That's what Mello said. He was basically like Swanson. And he was the Park and Rec chairman.
You mean mallet, don't you? Not metal?
I said Mallet. Did I not?
I think you said metal. I could be wrong.
Why would I say my own name?
I have no idea. But I'm pretty sure you said metal, but I could be wrong. What did other people out there hear him say? Was it metal or mallet? My ears going crazy? I'll probably side with you just to spite me. May E says mallet. Just look up Nascoo's board meeting. You'll find me. I heard him say Flit is a good boy and deserves a wrench.
Now, I'm far more likely to believe that.
Now, my question is, Flit, if I gave you a wrench, would you promise not to time anybody out unless I said to? If you give Flit a wrench, I'm going to report this stream every day till I go. Flit says, I'm a lazy... I wouldn't time anyone out, even if you told me I'm a lazy Janny. Hashtag wrench Flit. Hashtag one of us. Choose wisely, Rick. Yeah, but what are you going to report it for, Mallet?
What wouldn't he report it for?
Probably lots of things. I think there's lots of things he couldn't report it for. Although he could try to report it for them. I still think...
And I will convince Mrs. Dillard to never come here again. Ha! Joke's on you. Her husband already banned her from watching Rick's stream.
She was here like This morning or yesterday?
That's because she's a naughty girl. She broke the rules.
I don't know. Let me check it out. Bullying and harassment. Yeah, that's done to me here. The bullying and the harassment. Melon's doing it right now, trying to bully me into not giving you a wrench. Threatening to harass me.
That's okay. I'm always here to bully you. You don't need Mallet for that.
Mallet says exactly. I'm not sure what that's exactly to Flint, to me, or to you.
Yes.
Oh. Rick, can you time? Rick can time what wrenches. Yes, I can. You're finally getting it, Rick. Then again, he's just doing what I sort of did at his job the other day. He said to time me out, and I was like threatened Howard to take away his wrench here. And then who did I say I was going to give a wrench to? Actually, I did say I was going to give Eagle a wrench if he didn't time me out over on Things channel, so. And he didn't, so I guess I actually have to make good on my word, don't I? Rick, I would never. I once timed out a wrench and my other got scared. Yeah, well, they don't do that here. I've timed out some before and they don't get scared about being timed out. They've all got too many alt accounts to be scared about getting timed out.
You don't even know how many I have.
Like I said, too many. And I gave Eagle the wrench till he misuses it, which will be in like 5 seconds.
I'll be right back.
Okay. I'm seeing whether Eagle misuses his wrench right away or not. And there you go, Flit. See whether you misuse it too. It says. There you go, you filthy wrench. Go ahead. Go. You betrayed the movement of Flit says so. Well, a new name. I'm a filthy wrench class count too. Says Flit. I'm starting to think that having a wrench is special or unique or cool. Rick is a wrench. Rick is a wrench Oprah. Tell me so, Brenna. I don't have a wrench. Yes, you do, Eagle. I follow a lot of Uh, what to do now? What are we doing? What shall we do with the drunken sailor? What shall we do?
Boy, apparently, somebody wants me to rap battle Buck on the podcast.
Okay. I'm just gonna ban Rick from my channels. This mallet. You don't see a wrench? I don't know how you don't see a wrench, Eagle. Your name's blue, you have a wrench next to it. I see it. I think everybody else does.
Well, I think he's just in denial because he's afraid of getting addicted to the wrench.
Yeah, he thinks if he sees it, he'll actually use it for wrong purposes. I just tried to time out mallet. Oh, I see it too. There's a mallet. Nothing happened. Thanks. These wrenches have no
We should have a Dr. Seuss stream where all we do is read Dr. Seuss books on stream.
Well, you'd be the only one who doesn't see a wrench, Eagle. I think. Joshua, you try. Maybe Eagle is just impotent. This is mallet. Who would be more likely to get banned on pastry, Dillard or Cross? I'd say John. He'd more likely to come in and say something. I'm not sure how to put it. Not
Unpalatable?
Yeah. Rick is Fearmaster, the Voodoo Queen of Canada. No. Dr. Seuss was a communist, said Eagle. You think would be exploiting the Zeus thing? Wasn't he? Asked Eagle. You're gonna take that, Eagle.
I don't care if he was a communist or not, I just really like his books. What he was in his personal life means nothing to me.
A homophobic with a gay wrench wouldn't work well. Can a wrench be gay? I don't think a wrench can be happy, or I don't think a wrench has an opposite sex or same-sex wrench. They're like. Gary Shipman was giving away Dr. Seuss sketch cards. Rick's favorite author is Mark. No. Is it rainbow colored instead of blue? I don't think you have that option on.
No. I got it. I got it. I can explain this right now. So
Yeah.
a straight wrench is one that actually does its job of like turning like a nut or even just like a bolt that's shaped to it. But a gay wrench is when you take another wrench and you put them together like a scissor formation to pop a padlock.
Okay.
Which I may or may not have done several times in my life.
No, I'm not. Mallet. SJW Joshua is the only person contributing to the show's sequel. Is Metal SJW Joshua? Asked Mallet. No.
No, I'm fairly certain Joshua is SJW Joshua, but I could be wrong. Though if I was, I probably wouldn't be telling you. So we went for a walk earlier today, because I need to get Travis more exercise. He doesn't get out very often. And he was like, not really yelling, but he was kind of snarking at me or whatever, because he was watching back through the play session on Sunday.
Yeah.
And there was a part specifically that got him. There was like a point where it said, I don't know if I should be trusting the GM, and I'm like, oh, you should never trust the GM. And then like literally a minute later, almost no time had passed, and you guys were thinking about using a cottage to bring you back to life. I'm like, are you sure you really want to waste a cottage on that?
Yeah.
And everybody listened to me, even though, like, again, not even a minute before them, like, you should never trust the DM. Like, ever.
I think I'm going to work on this since I don't know what else to do. Since I got this done, we'll call it tomorrow. Crypto STW, says Joshua. Flit says, Joshua is Crypto STW? My whole life has been a lie. Who is this Walker? OPT. Yeah, you know me.
Is he talking about the person I went on a walk with? That's, Buck, or Travis. He is in the, tabletop with everybody else. He's the guy who played the Yeti that sacrificed himself, and now he's playing the really tall dude.
Dragonis.
Dargonis.
Dargonis. Dargonis. Well, which is Flit?
His actual name is Travis. Buck is a nickname I gave him.
Well, it says like a date.
No, like he needs to get off his fat butt.
Do you have a nickname for Rick? Not sure whether we need to hear that nickname if he does.
Well, even so, Buck is actually short. I've known Travis since high school, right? So for well over a decade now. Actually, maybe even going on a decade and a half. And he was kind of like in the crew where we'd run around and do stuff together. And I would call him Buckhead, like one word. Kind of a rude nickname. I'd even bark at him because I was always the guy giving orders to everybody else in the crew. And as things got friendlier, we kind of just shortened the Buckhead into Buck.
Crossy says, Rick, when does Snowdrift Assassin kill all the heroes? Never, Eagle. Mallet is discriminating against cartoon characters. Crew Gang Cult says Mallet. My brother says Mallet. I like real people. Jeez.
I don't think he actually said I like real people. He was asking a question like a real person. Your gotcha journalism out of here.
Okay, good night, Mom. Have a good sleep. Snowbank kills them all with a snowplow. She/her calls Land Shark.
I like Snowbank. Snowbank, actually, this sounds like a better name for like a villain.
Snow Shark, says Eagle. Marsupio says, gotcha journalism. Hush up, Joshy. We're here to bully Rick, not me. Split says, Snowbank sounds like place Canadians keep the money. Nah, just our bodies. Oh, the bodies of the people we kill that aren't Canadians. We can multitask, says JP4, says Joshua.
You keep your money inside people?
Yep, sure. Okay, I've studied tight-fitting women's pants. They don't look like this. Well, good for you. I haven't.
Oh, maybe you should get on that. Maybe you need some up-close and personal experience with it.
Yes, unfortunately, the women are denying me that up-close and personal experience.
See, more training is required.
This channel is racist.
Oh, because your mom's a channel manager, so even though she doesn't have a wrench, she can't be timed out.
The internet is available, Rick. Yeah, but there's nothing like studying in person, you know.
Well, it's easy. You basically, you don't have to draw the private parts, but you basically just draw a woman without pants on, and then act like you're spray painting the pants around her legs.
Yeah. Fear master of being fearful. No, master of making people fear. Face their fears. Although I don't think has faced hers.
Eric is more interested in field research. Aren't we all? Well, everyone except for pastry.
Well, it says field research is the beat work. I think you meant best work.
Yeah, that actually just sounds like a good behavioral psychologist making people face their fears. Are you sure this isn't secretly a good guy?
Well, she does it. They're not wanting to. She just like the first time that she's encountered, she just takes over like a whatchamacallit, a circus or something like that, and the whole audience she makes face their fears at once.
Yeah, it's called tough love, Rick.
Yeah, but that causes chaos too. People, some could die, not being ready for it. Heart attack or whatever, because they go into a hypnotic state, if you will, not realizing that's what's even happening.
Mel says you should move to Thailand for field research.
You want to pay the expenses, Mallet?
I think he's only going to pay for one way. Could be an interesting twist, Foot says. Fairmaster's intent could be to do evil, but by the end she just always ends up comedically helping people instead. See, I was thinking the other way around, right? Is that her intent was to do good because she thought she was helping people, but she's actually just ending up harming people.
Well, actually, that's probably more what it is, you know.
You think she's helping you overcome your fear, but she's actually putting everybody in danger every single time.
Yeah. No, nobody's blaming you for something you didn't do.
No, Eagle is.
Oh.
Eagle's blaming Pastry for why he can't time out your mom.
Oh, just ignore Eagle.
Your idea is funnier, Foot. That's just not the one I was thinking of. I can admit that.
I have enough of my own bills. I'm not John. Sort of like the Flash. Okay, I don't know what you mean by sort of like the Flash.
You know, like, in a matter of speaking, everyone's sort of like the Flash. I mean, you know, they gotta breathe, they gotta eat, they're nouns.
Rick, you should just write sea shanties. I'm not even sure what sea shanties are.
You were singing one earlier.
I was?
Yeah, you were singing Drunken Sailor.
Oh. I learned that in music class in school, like grade 6 or something like that.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Like, if you're gonna write shanties, shouldn't you be somewhat musically talented?
Yeah, not me. Not me.
I mean, you don't really have to be a good singer. I've heard people who sing shanties, but you at least got to be able to carry a rhythm, carry a basic tune as well.
I don't think that's me. Rick, I blame Pastry for your hatred of Assassin's Snowdrift. Hey, I drew up Assassin's Snowdrift, so.
See, my version of Assassin Snowdrift would wear all white and just create blizzards everywhere she goes so she'd blend into the snow.
What if the Crossverse books were light-hearted comedies with wholesome messages? I'm hoping there's going to be comedy in them.
Yeah. No, it's got some point. He's got to go in there. That would go for making comics. Shouldn't you have some artistic abilities?
No, you can have writing abilities and hire people with a thing, or you can have ideas and then hire people for the rest. Just you can have ideas for songs, get people to write them, hire them, people to write the songs. I'm just thinking I'm being bullied again. Flip. What would that take away that something? Hey, Melly, you're the one that said you're here to bully me, not the other people in the chat. Then again, that's my chat. They troll everybody. They troll the people in the chat as well as me, but I'm the main focus usually. Rick, do you own Batman 500? I don't know. Let me see if I can see the cover right now.
You see what Flit said?
Mallet, art is the least important thing about being an artist. Hey, yeah, you've seen some of the paintings out there, right?
I mean, if you can staple a banana peel to a wall and call it art.
I might have that one. Batman 500 I might have. Eagle. It's up to you, Jim. So you can't get rid of me, laugh out loud.
No, see, you say that, but that's not how things work.
Yeah, he can always ban you.
That's a good writer right there, Walter Gibson.
Oh,
well, I guess Eagle's always trying to get you to read Walter Gibson stuff.
Oh, but as for Detective Comics 500, no, I have not. I do not have that. That I know. My channel is free speech and got some. Except for puns, apparently.
Oh yeah, well, my channel is a thought-free zone, but that's spelled T-H-O-T. No, not the Vomitorium, though. We were actually trying to get an e-girl on the Vomitorium, like, as a co-host at one point in time. They're so hard to find. And I got to the point of, like, oh, we're gonna have to make one, because anybody who's already e-girl is making too much money. Why would they ever go to somebody else's show? But then it's hard to find, because then you have to find a girl who is willing to become an e-girl, and that's a mess of its own.
Yeah, I can believe that.
Okay, Mallet. Catch you later.
Later, Mallet. Flip says, note e-girls.
Well, like every successful radio show usually has like the one airheaded girl on the show.
Rick could be any girl. You should get rich. Yeah, I don't think people are paying to see me. Whether I call myself a girl or not.
Oh, that's the one thing I can definitely agree with. Don't give in to peer pressure. Especially from me. I'm a bad influence.
I very seldom give in to peer pressure.
Well, unless the peer pressure has something to do with Super Spider's mask, that thing is atrocious.
Like I said, I very seldom give in to peer pressure. So anything you would like to promote, Metal?
Well, I have the vomitorium tomorrow. Oh man, why am I yawning? Rick, I blame you. I have the vomitorium tomorrow as the normal time, so everybody should come by to any of the channels that they prefer, whether it's on YouTube, Twitch, or DLive, and join in the fun as we do our normal 3-hour sort of radio program where we talk about mostly gaming news, but just kind of like news and stuff, and whatever else is on our mind at the time.
Yeah, I know Pokemon was on your mind a lot.
Dude, I am excited for the Gen 4 remake.
Because I think you talked like 90% of the show about that.
Yeah. But I think too, like Marsupial, to some degree, is kind of only just getting into Pokemon, and so he's got questions. And you can't get me started on that subject. It's like with Final Fantasy. Don't get me started on that either.
Well, hashtag James says Joshua. Well, thanks everybody for coming by. It's been great having you on here. Again, thanks for coming on as usual. Thursday night we might not be here. I might be on Tank's channel. I gotta find out what time he's starting. Exactly what time he's supposed to start. Because I'm going to be on there doing some promotion for a coloring book in its last few days. So, yeah, I guess we'll talk to everybody later. Again, go if you haven't gone to get the coloring book yet, you can get it for like $2 US, $3 Canadian. I don't know what that would be in any other funds out there, but go get it. Even if it's just the digital, you can download it and print it up and color as much as you want, or color it digitally. So we'll catch you all later. Bye for now. God bless. Love you all. Have a great, wonderful night, day, whatever it might be for you. Love you all.